Let's get racing.
3, 4, 5 road lights in Austria. Down the hill we go. Jake Benham is the driver to beat as we leave the line. Can he hang on to it? But he's under pressure now. Final lap. Can he go to the inside line? Yes, he can. That's risky now. He's spun. Great racing all the way through. The drive to remember.
Let's get racing.
3, 4, 5 road lights in Austria. Down the hill we go. Jake Benham is the driver to beat as we leave the line. Can he hang on to it? But he's under pressure now. Final lap. Can he go to the inside line? Yes, he can. That's risky now. He's spun. Great racing all the way through. The drive to remember.
ARAMCO Sim Arena for our last race of the day and our last final as well here. We'll have 20 minutes of race for qualifying this. We may have already lost 2 drivers already. Are empty, so we may be down, or we've lost another one as well by the looks of it, which is unfortunate. So we may be down to just 17 drivers here. But let's have a look at who we are earlier on. So on simulator number 1, we have Turki Alhamdan. Alongside him is Abdulkader Ghazawi. He's done multiple races already this weekend, looking to improve his position. He's had 2 fourth-place finishes already, but he'd like to be on the podium here today. Alongside him, Ahmed Al-Obeid. He finished second 2 days ago in one of our final races as well. He's looking to improve. Alongside him, Abdul Abdulaziz Al-Sam, who's had a very interesting day here so far. He's come second, he's come 6th. Looking for that all-important top step of the podium. Alongside him, Ahmed Dandan, and then we have Fawaz Al-Katani with Nawaf Khalid, Walid Fatala, and Ali Mohammed. Oh, actually no, we've got some movement here because not all the sims are... Okay, that's right, because we're missing some drivers. So, Walid Falata is on the far right-hand side because I see we're missing another driver as well on Simulator 8 too. So that's unfortunately where one of the other drivers has gone. So that's the entire front row that we have here. So the far left, the first driver we see there is Ali Mohammed. Walid Tahir. Ali Mohammed, of course, had a very eventful day. He's already won a race here, and he's, well, he missed the podium. Well, actually, no, he wasn't in the second race, was he? He was only in the first race that we did. But he's here again to see if he can get reclaim a victory, have at least 2 out of 4 wins in a day. That's not bad. That's a 50% win record if Ali Mohammed can do it. I see some drivers already throwing their hands up as well. Walid Tahir is here on the 14th simulator. He's had an eventful day as well. He's been on the podium at least once here already. Riyad Al-Rafari, he won the GT Sports Marshals final. He is here on simulator number 15, looking as well for another victory. So he could also go 50% win record here today alone. Then we have Wael Tahir, again, another very rapid driver, missed out on the win, although he has had a podium finish in here already. He's looking for an outright win as well. Yasser Al-Mansour, who won a race a couple of days ago, he's back here in the race room finale here, looking to walk away with more cash than he started the week with. Then we have Mahmoud Kanan, Saeed Samour, who is back again, and then last but not least, Shabin Garbin, who is in the top right-hand corner. And those are, let's calculate, your 17 drivers here in our final. If you're watching on the live stream, thank you so much for joining us, and welcome to the ARAMCO Sim Arena here in Saudi Arabia, in Riyadh to be precise. And it's been a very eventful week so far. We've had so many gripping finales. We've had 2 for the gents, we've had 1 for the ladies, which is an absolutely incredible race that we had yesterday. We've had the Marshals finals, which were held today, and now we have the final here for the RaceRoom drivers here. Now, those of you who have been watching here, you're wondering what car we're using. Well, we are using a Formula car, Formula 1 car, but we're using a Formula car from a number of years ago that is decked out in the Aramco Aston Martin livery. You will notice, if you pay key attention, if you're hearing this as well, you'll hear that it's a V10 being run, which has not been in production in Formula 1 for quite some time. And it's magnificent to hear that howl once again here at the ARAMCO Sim Arena. So the first laps are in the books. Al-Hamdan goes 1:49.439. Ghazawi is 802nd off the pace, but now we already have a new pole sitter for the time being, 1:49.245 for Al-Obeid, who will be running in, looking for a victory here. Missed out on the victory over the past week, and he is well, looking for a little bit of redemption here, looking for a podium finish here in the RaceRoom Challenge. Or let's say RaceRoom Finals. A few challenges here and there. We're looking forward to another exciting race. The race that we had earlier on today for the Marshals on RaceRoom was quite eventful, actually. There were a number of spins, or even cars flipping around all over the place, plus some instances and contacts here and there. But let's see what this one will play out for us here today. Our final as well. This is in RaceRoom, and this one is going to be mighty competitive. The field separated by 12.1 seconds at the moment, but still plenty of time left on the clock. Remember, hotspots in our first final for the Marshals today was Sector 1 and Sector 3. Notably, Corner 1 was the real issue, but in the final sector was the penultimate and final corner. that proved quite difficult for some of the drivers here. They did manage to get a hold of it at the later stages, but those sausage curves really ruined a couple of races here. So it looks like the top, all the drivers are spread quite evenly. Now, it looks like we have 17 drivers. Yes, we do, because unfortunately, well, we should have 20. Unfortunately, 3 are not with us anymore. So all 17 drivers have put lap times in. As you said before, the gap is 12 seconds between first and 17th. Now, if we look through the top 10, the gap is 4.5 seconds. Now made that 5.1 seconds because Al-Ghazawi has just gone quicker to all with a 148.292. We were speaking to him earlier before. He's already walked away with 2 fourth-place finishes. He's looking for an improvement. He wants to be on a step of the podium this time round, not on the sides of them. So he likes to walk away with either a podium finishing position or the top step of the podium here with Al-Ghazawi. Al-Hamdan currently provisionally second overall. The car stopped through the final corner. That's impeded someone's lap there. That was Al-Rafai that stopped. That's unusual because he's been quite good with his racecraft over the past couple of races that we've seen him in. Bit of an unusual error from his behalf. Now the top 10 are all separated by less than 3 seconds. Yasser Al-Mansour, a race winner in our previous final, is now into the top 10. But looking to improve here as he's now in the train here of 4 cars. They'll all be picking up the slipstream from one another. They're really careful because some drivers might be going slower and braking earlier than others. And they don't want to get caught up with that. As you see some RG going through the corner there on the exit. That is not what's needed. Qualifying, and around goes one of the drivers that was in the mix there. Couldn't quite catch who it is because unfortunately all the numbers on the side of the cars are the same. That was one of the Tahirs that went round. Now, they're both W Tahir, so it's either Waleed or Weil. I think it might have been Waleed that may have got, actually Weil that might have got around, but let's see about that. So the top 10 still separated by 3 seconds at the moment or less. It's actually 2.9 seconds separating first through 10th. So quite an evenly spread out field here for the time being. And now the gap is closed at the bottom with Abdulaziz Al Saud now being within 10 seconds of pole position. So momentarily Al-Hamdan took pole position away, but Ghazawi has retaken it once again with a 148.239. Al-Abaid has now worked his way to the second row of the grid. That'll be a great starting position for him as well, as he's looking for another podium finish here in one of our finals in the ARAMCO Sim Arena. So 12 minutes to go, just over 12 minutes to go in qualifying. The top 2 are separated by 4/100ths of a second at the moment. So that means Al-Hamdan's time is a 148.280 actually. And that's how close the gap is between first and second, the 2 drivers that will like to start on the front row of the grid, although I can imagine Al-Hamdan would prefer to be starting in that all-important pole position. For the time being, it's going the way of Ghazawi here at the ARAMCO Sim Arena. But still plenty of time left on the clock as we've mixed now qualifying and practice into the same session. It will be a 20-minute session to set the field up here for this race. And again, it will be a 20-minute race as well for the driver to sort out where they will be. And remember, the top 5 here will walk away with cash prizes. A total prize pool of 11,000 Saudi Arabian Riyals are on offer for the top 5. That will be split between the 5 of them. And of course, the race winner will also walk away with an additional prize of one of the ARAMCO seats that is sat behind the podium area. As we fast approach now the second half of this session, let's see if Al-Hamdan can improve on his time this time round. Can he snatch pole position away from Ghazawi? Not quite. This is across the line now. No, he's still 4/100ths of a second back for the time being. Where is Al-Ghazawi in all this? Because he's just behind him. Well, there is Al-Ghazawi. And he does not improve his times this time either. Here is Al-Abaid. He's running in 3rd overall. He's 6/10 of a second. Well, actually, he's less. He's 5/10 of a second behind. And he now drops to 4th as Ali Muhammad now goes into 3rd position. Besting his time by 33/100ths of a second, better yet, of Al-Abaid. And then it's one of the Tahirs in 5th with Yasser Al-Mansour. He's now dropped outside the top 10. The top 10 or the top 17 now separated by 9.9 seconds. That gap is coming down, but the top 10 are now separated by just 1.6 seconds. That is how close this field is. And this is going to be one exciting finale here at the ARAMCO Sim Arena. Yes, Al-Mansour improves his position, moves up now to 12th position overall here. So Taher is up as well. Now successfully to the second half of qualifying here around Spa-Francorchamps. So a little bit about the races here in the final. Of course, we're all using Spa-Francorchamps, so all of the drivers here, and they're all using the same car as well. The only difference is the way they race it. They can set it up the way they want to set it up, whether it be more rear bias, more front bias, if they want the wing at a certain angle. That's up to them to decide what setup suits them the best. Now, the car itself is identical in every way. The other difference, of course, is the driver behind the wheel. Drivers are allowed to choose between automatic and manual transmission here around Spa-Francorchamps. I can imagine, though, a lot of drivers will be using manual transmission here around one of the most iconic Formula One tracks on the calendar. Al-Hamdan, though, goes quickest of all by 0.3 of a second. He's now bumped his time down to 1:47.93. Al-Ghazawi still second. Al-Abeid back now into the top 3. As he's now 7th of a second from Al-Hamdan. Ali Mohammed in the top 4, and Riyad Al-Rifai is up now in the top 5, and he's 1.1 seconds off of the race leader. So he's in a good position here for the start of the race. He will provisionally start on the 3rd row of the grid here at the ARAMCO Sim Arena. And someone's gone off by the looks of it. There's a big, they've just rejoined the track as well. So the good news is they haven't impeded Al-Rifai's lap at the moment, as Al-Rifai won the Gran Turismo Sport race that we had earlier today in the Marshall's final here at the ARAMCO Sim Arena. So, just over 8 minutes remaining on the clock. Al-Hamdan and Ghazawi are your top 2. Al-Abeid is 3rd with Mohammed. Ali Mohammed lining up in 4th position. That's a mighty slow corner, but of course, that's very slow actually through that corner for Al-Rifai. I think he just was trying to figure out what is the ideal speed to go through the corner, but he's a little slow and he's impeded the driver behind him as well. And that was one of the Tahirs that has gone through and actually has bumped Rifai down to 6th position, so he's been bumped outside of the top 5. Still on the 3rd row of the grid, however, he will now provisionally start the 3rd row. But 7.5 minutes remaining on the clock here for Al-Hamdan, Ghazawi, Al-Abeid, Mohammed and Tahir, your top 5. Further down the order, the top 10 still within 1.6 seconds of one another. Al-Mujal is now worked his way up into the top 10. With sort of now being in the bottom 7 at the moment. Now the good news is that all the drivers will qualify for this race because of course they have been racing all throughout the past couple of months here to secure their place in the final here, the RaceRoom final that we have here at the ARAMCO Sim Arena. All the sims that have all prepared here by, of course, competition, all in various degrees of intensity here, shall we say. We actually start with the Gran Turismo Sport ones, which are sort of their stepping stone into simulators. Then we've got the Formula setups as well, which really immerse you in what it's like to drive a Formula One car because you sit so low down and your feet are so much higher than you'd expect. And talking to some of the drivers before, I think it was Stefani I was speaking to before, he said he had a slight issue with where his feet are positioned and it caused him some slight visual issues there. So he's decided to sit this one out, although he is here in the crowd tonight. And then, of course, on the far left here, if you're in the ARAMCO Sim Arena, we have the Senator Corsa Competizione simulator set up by pole position, and they are the most immersive ones that we have here this weekend. They really encase you inside the car. It really actually feels like you're driving the car. It's got full motion, it has speakers mounted right behind your head, and they just blare the sound of the engine and all the surrounding noise into your ears, and it really puts you in the zone there of the Aston Martin that you can race on Senator Corsa Competizione. But back to the action here on track, just under 6 minutes remaining on the clock for Hamdan, who still is leading the field here at the qualifying session actually, and now the gap is up to 1/10 of a second separating first and second place, and it's a further 6/10 of a second back to Yasser Al-Mansour, who has shot his way up the order outside of the top 10 not too long ago, and now he's looking for a second row starting position. Here he is again on another flying lap here as he works his way through the gears, looking to improve his time here. He's 9/10 of a second back, and Hamdan has improved his lap time again here as he's gone quicker with a 1:47.605. He's gone 0.3 of a second faster on his previous lap. and he's hoping to secure that all-important pole position. Al-Mansour has been dropped back now to 4th, as Ali Mohammed has moved into 3rd position overall. He will provisionally share that second row of the grid with Al-Mansour. 5 minutes left on the clock, and they've got enough time to put in at least 2 more laps here around Spa-Francorchamps. So Hamdan continues to lead the field here from Ghazawi. Mohammed, Al-Mansour and Al-Abaid are the top 5, with Riyad Al-Rafari down in 6th, and we've got 2 tyres sharing row number 4 for the time being. In 9th, and Khalid in 10th position. These are your top 10 now, all separated by 1.7 seconds. And in this session, it seems to be this man right here, Al Hamdan, just seems to be finding more and more time reduced to put in the significant lap times that he has to set the field here. And he is the fastest man out there. Now, can anyone catch him? Somebody needs to follow him. Ghazawi needs to catch up and see if he can latch on the back of him and follow him through and see where he's making up that time to see if he can improve his position and start in a pole position. Because, of course, he is looking for that outright win here at Spa, here at the ARAMCO Sim Arena. Less than 4 minutes to go on the clock. Ghazawi now working his way through the final corner. Does he improve this time round? We'll see when he comes across the line. A little bit squirrely there through the final corner. He's across the line now, so no improvement on his lap time at all. So he's still the fastest lap of the race so far. And actually he's been dropped down to 3rd because Al-Abaid has just gone 2nd fastest. Into the pit lane looks to be Al Hamdan. Yes, it is. He has come into the pit lane. That's what that screw job thing is on the side there. I think he's done with this session. He knows he's got the fastest on the lap of the race. I think he knows that no one else will be able to catch him. Or is he putting new tyres on? Is this a strategic pit stop? Now, I will remind you that pit stops here are not mandatory at all during the race. Neither is refueling. Collisions are off. Damage is off. So that was why you might see some cars ghosting. But that's a very interesting move there from Al Hamdan. He's got a new set of rubber on his car, but I don't think he's going to have enough time to actually put a lap time in. He's still 14 of a second ahead of Al-Abaid, who turned his less than a 10th of a second of Ghazawi. And actually Ghazawi is thousandths of a second behind him. It looks like he's about 6 thousandths of a second behind him at the moment. It's a mighty close gap between 2nd and 3rd position. And this is no doubt going to go all the way down to the wire here in our qualifying session. And of course after this we'll have our 20-minute race here where our 17 drivers will be playing and driving, racing and attempting to win a prize full worth 11,000 Saudi Arabian riyals that will be split between our top 5. And of course, the winner will be sat on top of the podium, walking away with the most amount of money from that prize pool. They'll also be walking away with a special prize as well that we will tell you more about later on in the session. So, as the final 2 minutes now underway here for our qualifying and practice session in Spa-Francorchamps, the man still to beat is Al Hamdan, but Ghazawi desperately trying to find a way to go quicker somewhere out on track and see if he can nab pole position, because he's starting on the 2nd row of the grid, which he'll start right behind him as well. But going down towards turn 1 is going to be an issue. We saw this as an issue as well in our final earlier today with the marshals. It called a lot of drivers out, and it was something that the drivers actually noted in the drivers' briefings when they asked the race director to inform drivers of turn 1 and the dangers that it provides. Yet, even though we did that, we still saw calamity. And now we have a new man in 2nd position. Al-Mujal has gone into 2nd position overall. He is 14th of a second faster than Al Hamdan, and he is 6/100ths of a second faster than Al-Abaid here around Spa-Francorchamps. So that bumps Al-Abaid down to 3rd, Ghazawi down to 4th. So those two now on the 2nd row here of the starting grid. We have less than a minute to go here. I don't think there'll be enough time for any more drivers to put in a fast lap time unless Hamdan can improve, but even he won't be able to do it. Here are the qualifying results for the end of the field for some reason, not the sharp end of the field, maybe because these might be confirmed already. But it'll be interesting to see what they can do at the beginning. It looks like Hamdan is allowing the other drivers through, so I think he's just given up now. He knows that he has that pole position. No need to push any further. Just time to relax a little. get ready and in the zone for the start here of our final of the weekend here, or actually not weekend, it's still the mid-week at the moment. It feels like it's the weekend already here at the ARAMCO Sim Arena. But there is the end to qualifying there. Now that is not the top 5, that's the bottom 7 that we're looking at. So we need to go to the first page, but I can assure you Al Hamdan was not bested at the line, so he will be the one to lead the field round on the first lap. But for how long can he maintain the lead here? Can he retain it for 20 minutes of racing here? Well, we are going to find out. A great drive there from Al Hamdan. The rest of the drivers that all qualified as well here. You can see Abdulaziz outside all the way, unfortunately, at the bottom of the track here. But I can imagine it's quite an exhausting day for him because he's done now, this will be his 3rd race that he's participated in, and he's gone through all the different levels of simulation that we have here at the ARAMCO Sim Arena. So I can imagine he might be feeling a little bit of fatigue here, and with over an hour of racing already completed by him, which includes, of course, practice and qualifying, it's going to be a long race for Al Saud here. But he's going to be one to watch as well, starting from the back of the grid. So the grid is formed up. On the right-hand side of your screen is Al Hamdan. On the left-hand side of your screen is Al Majal. Behind them, Al Abeid, Ghazawi, Mohammed, Al Mansour, Al Rifai, Tahir and Tahir, and then Gavid. Your top 10. Lights out, and we're racing here again at Spa. It's a good clean start so far, but let's see what happens down towards turn 1. Will we get through cleanly? Just about. Is there any bumping? Yes, there is. There's a little bit of contact in the mid-pack of the field there, and there is one car that's facing in the wrong direction, unfortunately. And who is that? That is... No, it can't. It's not Al Hamdan, or is it? No, it's not, but Al Hamdan is losing out. It's Kanad, who unfortunately has dropped down, but Al Hamdan, from the lead of the race, is down into 9th position. So not the best way that you want to start a race here, as Al Majal seems to be blocking, weaving, diving and dipping wherever he can to keep the cars behind him. Oh, that's not a good move there. That was very late on the brakes there from Yasser Al Mansour. And he will have to continue on there, but he's lost some time to the race leader. 0.2 of a second is the gap separating the two of them out in front here around Spa, and it's coming down. We've got a train of 4 cars, possibly even 5 and 6 cars actually vying for the race lead. Who's that that's dropping down? Abdulaziz Al Saud from the back of the grid is up in the 12th position already. Dandan is dropping back. Oh, Ghazawi's had an issue as well. Ghazawi is all the way down in 17th position, and he's being pinged here for track limits abuse, and that is an absolute disaster for Ghazawi. Such a strong qualifying. He's had such fantastic heat races. The red mist has already descended on Ghazawi, and he's going to be vying now to carve his way through the field, but it's going to be a very, very tough ask here around Spa-Francorchamps. So Al Majal continues to lead, Al Mansour in 2nd position, Falata in 3rd, Ali Mohammed is 4th, and then Khalid is up into 5th position. Where has he come from? He was outside of the top 10 in qualifying. That is Nawaf Khalid, who has now made his way in the top 5. We've got a car running wide in the corner. Oh, we've got more contact through the final corner as well. The top 4 get through cleanly. Who was that? Abdulaziz Al Saud is mixed up. No, he's not, because he's in 11th place. Al Abeid caught up in that contact. Nawaf Khalid again continuously climbs. It seems to be the wild card here is Nawaf Khalid. He was not one that I was keeping an eye out here on, but he should have been on my radar pretty much from the get-go. As Al Hamdan is carving his way through the field. Garvid hasn't had a good start either. The opening lap, he's dropped down to 13th position. Ghazawi still battling to work his way through as well. He's having issues at the tail end of the field, but he's got through now in a 16th position. But he's got a long way to go if he wants to take the win here today, and it's going to be very, very tough here. He's over 15 seconds behind the race leader already. Nawaf Khalid now up in the top 3. Great drive here so far in the opening laps for Nawaf Khalid. He could be on here for a win. And it's on the inside, looks Ali Mohammed. He dives through on the inside, takes a position away. So thank you very much. That's mine again. Goodbye. Raid Al Rafari being pinged for track limits as well. He's been given a slow down penalty as Abdulaziz Al Saud going the wrong way. Ghazawi also loses out on 16th position. And now down into 17th place. Ali Mohammed in 3rd. We've got a new race leader. Yasser Al Mansour has now taken the lead of the race here in RaceRoom in our finale here today at the ARAMCO Sim Arena. Things are getting very, very spicy up front. We've got 6 drivers all in contention for a win. They're separated by less than 3 seconds between them. This is already very interesting, and we've only completed 2 laps. It feels like we're at the end of the race already in this 20-minute session, but that's what you get when you have a sprint race. it's a sprint race. You've got to get it done as soon as you've got to get it done. Here's a pass on the outside from Al Abeid. That is Nawaf Khalid on the inside. He's trying to go through around the outside, but that's not where he wants to be. Trying to look each and every way that he can. He's going to dive to the inside, but this will give Nawaf Khalid the inside line for the next corner. So Al Abeid has to concede the position there and drops down to 5th place for the time being. Al Hamdan trying to work his way up the order. Abdulaziz Al Saud there momentarily making positions up there. Late braking manoeuvre for Al Abeid again, side by side through turn 1. A bit of argy-bargy again, trying to muscle his opponent off. And Al Abeid, Al Rafai has come back into the mix as well. He'd like a piece of this action here. Because of course this battle here is for 5th position. Actually it's for 4th at the moment, because Al Abeid is the leader of this pack. Nawaf Khalid trying to find a way through here as well. He liked this position. He liked to capitalise here, try and challenge for 3rd, but here's the battle for 2nd between Ali Mohammed and Al Mujal. Al Mujal, of course, a race leader, and this is good news for Yasser Al Mansour as well, because this is allowing him to escape up the road. 2 penalties picked up there. One of them is for Ahmed Al Abeid, and that's disastrous because he's in 4th position at the moment, and he's going to lose time quickly because of that. There was another driver that looked to be pinged for that as well. Now it looks like Al Abeid has conceded that position, dropping down into 5th overall, but he can still get a podium finish here. Still possibly a win as well, but Yasser Al Mansour is extending his lead here by almost 2 seconds to the good over Ali Mohammed here around Spa-Francorchamps. We've only elapsed the first 5 minutes of the race here, like we said before, where you think it would be the last 5 minutes of the race, but no, this has only been the first 5 minutes, and we've already had the pole sitter go down the order. Nawaf Khalid has lost ground. He's down into 10th position. Abdulaziz Al Saud up in the top 10 now. I told you he was one to watch here today as he's clawing his way through. Nawaf Khalid back up, but unfortunately, as soon as we say that, I fear it's commentator's curse there for Abdulaziz Al Saud. Maybe I'll shut my mouth here until the end of the race, at least for him, because it seems to be when he does good, I mention it and he tumbles down the order, unfortunately. So not mentioning him anymore until he's up into the lead of the race. Al Rafai, oh no, he's hit the sausage curb, and that's going to impact him quite significantly. He did miss the corner there, and Al Abeid up in a 2nd. Al Mujal is 3rd. Rafai stays in 4th position with Tahir now in the top 5. Ali Mohammed down in 6th position. Lots of movement here in this race, which is fantastic to see. Battles literally everywhere you look here in our final here at the ARAMCO Sim Arena. Of course, this is the final day of finals here in this facility. Beautiful Saudi Arabia. It's been an exciting couple of days here. Very exciting finals as well. Here we're looking at Al Rafai, who picked up that penalty, and he's found out what the sausage curves are all about as well. As this is the battle for 6th position. Falafel looking for a way past Ali Mohammed. He's on the inside line. Is he going to break late? No, he tucks in behind him. Thinks better of it, because the last thing you want to do through this corner here is tangle with one another and spin off, because that's what we saw in the previous final earlier today. As Al Mansour continues to lead, Abdulaziz Al Saud, it just keeps getting worse for him, unfortunately. From the back of the grid, he's carved his way through up in the top 7 and now picks up a penalty for track limits abuse. So he's going to have to slow down and possibly concede a position as well. So that's going to be really unfortunate for him, as he's currently down now in the 11th position. Nawaf Khalid fighting strong at the top, at the sharp end of the field here, looking for a podium position, but unfortunately drops now down into the lower half of the top 10, but still battling it out here for 9th position. Make that 8th position with the pole sitter, Al Hamdan, who did not have the best opening stint. Ghazawi, still no progress for him. He's still way down the end of the field here, unfortunately. He still does have 12 minutes or more remaining on the clock to see if he can work his way into the top 5, but it's going to be a very tough ask. Or saying that, he just takes 15th position now, or Dandan. Well, those two actually battling between one another, Dandan and Ghazawi, and actually they both lost the position down into 16th and 17th, because Kanan has come through and says, I'll take that position, thank you very much. Here's Abdulaziz Al Saud. He's on the inside here for the penultimate corner, into the right-hander there. And it looks like he's got a clean left-hand part. Yes, he does. So he sneaks up through and off he goes. Across the line here to complete yet another lap, and he improves his position as well. Back into 11th position overall here. 12 minutes remaining on the clock, if not a little bit more. Things are getting exciting, especially in the mid-pack. Up front, Yasser Al Mansour leads by 2.7 seconds. Here's a battle for 3rd. Al Mujal and Al Rafai. Al Rafai on the slipstream at the moment. He's going to tuck, he's going to flank to the inside, or he's going around the outside. He's going to go to the inside. A late diving manoeuvre, but not close enough to make a move. Oh, and he loses it through the corner. That was definitely going to happen. We saw that coming a mile away, but he tried what he could, and unfortunately drops out of the top 5. That promotes Ali Mohammed back into the top 5 as well, and potentially this man right here, Al Falata, could be inside for a finishing position that will net him part of the money from the prize pool, and he'll be very happy with that, because of course we're racing here for 11,000 Saudi Arabian Riyals here, which will be shared between our top 5, and of course the race winner will also walk away with an additional prize as well here at the ARAMCO Sim Arena. And so far it's Yasser Al-Mansour who's out in front. We've got a great battle here between pole sitter Al-Hamdan and Al-Rafai after his spin earlier on this lap. Al-Hamdan looking on the inside, of course he's on simulator number 1 on the far left for a very comfortable qualifying session for him, and he certainly was the quickest man out there for a good portion of that 20-minute session as well. Just didn't go his way on the opening lap. He fell down the order, but he slowly and carefully carved his way through. Of course, in this battle here, he is losing valuable time to that top 5, and he'd like to be in there. He's going to go on the racing line exactly, cut the corner nice and early, and that's good news for him because Al-Rafai unfortunately lost it coming off the apex of that penultimate corner, and that bumps him down to 9th position. So position gain there for both Al-Hamdan and Nawaf Khalid. Here is Tahir and Al-Majal, the battle for 3rd position here at Spa-Francorchamps. Battle is 4/10 of a second separated the two of them. Yellow flags waving in sector 2 and 3. Quite unfamiliar to see them in sector 2 actually. Usually sector 1 and sector 3 are the real hot spots here, but this is the battle again, picking up the slipstream after Erouge. And now, is he going to flank to the inside like Al-Rafai tried to do? Not quite. He's going to stay up behind him and try and get the inside now through the left hand. He's got a great exit through there, and he's gone round the outside to take 3rd away. What a move there from Tahir. That was a good, clean move for him round there. And now he's going to try and push on to see if he can take 2nd, but Al-Majal is still there with him. He's not going to let him get away that easily. And I've just seen that Al-Ghazawi is out of the race. And that's really unfortunate there for Al-Ghazawi, who was looking to improve his finishing position. 2 4th place finishes in our finals. Looking for a strong finish. He looked great in practice and qualifying, but unfortunately he has stepped away. So the final 10 minutes of the race here around Spa. Can anybody catch Yasser Al-Mansour, 2.7 seconds is the gap to Ahmed Al-Abaid, who's looking as well for a possible win here. Then we have Tahir, who had that incredible move on the previous lap around the madness, just behind him Al-Majal, who he's not been able to shake at all as he pick up the slipstream yet again, going through now into the final corner. He's going to try and do what Tahir did to him on the previous lap, but no, that's not going to work at all, as Tahir gets his car position just right, all 4 wheels pointing in the right direction, and away he goes. He continues off in 4th position now into the second half of the race here around Spa-Francorchamps here in the ARAMCO Sim Arena. And what an exciting race this has been so far for all our drivers. Here is Yasser Al-Mansour, the race leader by 2.2 seconds to the good. 1 corner behind him is Ahmed Al-Abaid, and you can just see him lurking behind. And not close enough to pick up the stream. Ahmed Dandan picks up a penalty there for track limit abuse, so he's going to have to slow down on track. He is now currently, where is Dandan? He's down in 16th position at the moment. So he can slow down here. He's 39 seconds from the man in front of him, and there he is, unfortunately. He's off track completely. Now, I do fear this might be another retirement. Now, where is Dandan? Currently from our position here, I can't see any drivers that I'm looking at that are stuck in the grass. Yes, I can, and it looks like that may be race over there for Dandan. As Al-Rafai looking to work his way back up the top 10 order here. And yes, unfortunately, another retirement there. Dandan is out, so we're now down to 15 drivers here at Spa Francorchamps here in the ARAMCO Sim Arena. Oh, back with the battle here with Al-Rafai and Tahir. It's the battle for 9th as they collect each other once again. But the good news is that they've kept each other both on track. But that was certain contact. Tried to run him wide there. Very aggressive moves here being made in Spa around the track. Now, I thought Stefani was about to hop on somewhere. It's a last-minute effort here to see if he can take the victory here. But Al-Majal there trying to make a move on Tahir as well, but unfortunately cannot make the move. Yellow flags in sector 2 here at Spa. As we said, Dandan is out of the car and out of the sim as well. So we're down, as we said, to 15 drivers here in the ARAMCO Sim Arena. Yasser Al-Mansour continues to lead by 1.5 seconds. How much longer can he stay out in front, though, with less than 7 minutes to go on the clock? Here he is, looking nice and pretty for the time being, but Al-Abaid is lurking in close proximity. Again, not close enough to pick up the ideal slipstream, although he will be in the clean air behind him, tucking in with the aero rushing over his Formula car here. And he continues in hot pursuit here to try and close the gap. Oh, has Yasser Mansour had an issue because he slowed down rapidly there? Or is that just him going through the corner? No, he has lost significant time somewhere, so I think he's put 2 wheels off where he shouldn't have put them, and unfortunately it's dropped him down. Riyad Al-Rafai picks up yet another penalty here for track limits. And that means he'll have to slow down here at Spa. Gap up front though coming down to a second here. Starhead running in 3rd position. He's 1.5 seconds up the road from Al Majal. And Ali Mohammed running in 5th place at the moment. Those are your top 5. Here is Al Majal. He's dropping back from Tahir, and he's close enough. He might be in the clutches of Ali Mohammed, especially if he puts 2 wheels off the track like that again into the gravel traps. So that could certainly slow him down. Here is Ali Mohammed, the final driver in our top 5. Could be one of the 5 recipients of the prize. We're looking at 6th position and a battle for 6 as well between Falata and Al Hamdan. Remember the pole sitter. It's been a very tough race here for Al Hamdan. Practice and qualifying went every way it could for him, but the race itself has just not gone his way at all. Caught up in early lap drama right at the beginning and unfortunately tumbled down the order and is now in 7th position, trying to desperately find a way through Falata, but has just not found a way through. Looking on the inside here of Falata, but just cannot find it there as he gets a good exit through the corner. The gap stays 0.3 of a second separating the 2 of them as they continue on here around Spa. Less than 5 minutes to go. We're in the final quarter of the race here till we determine our top 5 prize recipients. A great run out of Alouche there for Al Hamdan. Looking around the outside, this is not where you want to be for the next corner. He's going to brake as late as he can. He's going to go side by side through the corner here, or is he going to brake late? Yes, he does brake later in comparison to Falata, and Falata stays ahead in 6th position. Now, of course, these 2 doing battle is dropping back from Ali Mohammed, which is a shame because those 2 could be battling, or 3 of them could be battling for that final finishing position of our podium, because we'll have 1 through 5 on the podium here at Spa. And it looks like the gap at front is coming down yet again, because it's come down a 0.6 of a second between the 2 of them. As we keep focusing on this battle here, the gap is a 1/10 of a second, less than half a culling. But yeah, I think there's less than an axle separating the 2 of them here. Oh, and there's contact between the 2 of them. Al Hamdan connects with the left rear there of Falata's car. But the good news is they carry on here. Here is the lead battle, and it came down briefly to 0.6 of a second. Al Abeid here quietly plucking away, reducing that gap lap by lap here, but will he have enough time? He overshoots the penultimate corner there by the looks of it, and that's going to cost him quite a bit of time as the better exit goes the way of Yasser Mansour, who we're looking at the back of right now from his Aramco Aston Martin Formula car. And there you can see how close Al Abeid is here in the race. Track limits, penalty being dished out for track limits abuse to Mahmoud Kanan, who will have to slow down here in the final 3 minutes of the race. But in these last 3 minutes, what can Al Abeid do? Can he find a way through? Where is he stronger? It looks like he's strong through sector 2 by the looks of it. As again, he's closing up through the corner, tucks into the toe, he picks up the slipstream, but just not close enough to make a move. Uses as much of the curb as he can, just to not upset the car though, because that's the last thing you want to do. Now, into the right-hander here. Can he close the gap through this long right-hander here? Not quite, but you can see 2 wheels up on the curbs there. He's using as much of the runoff area as he's allowed to. Here with track limits, of course, the race directors and the stewards keeping a close eye on all the action here. I don't think we'll have a lot of protests, to be honest, because it's been relatively clean now since pretty much the get-go. Nawaf Khalid now receives a slowdown penalty for track limit abuse here around Spa-Francorchamps. Gap closing down a 0.4 of a second. He's only got a lap to do this time round, because they're now through the second half of the lap here. We're doing 1:38. We might have enough time for an additional lap. Let's see if there'll be 2 to go this time round. Nawaz Al-Qahtani picks up a position. He picks up a penalty here, slowdown penalty for track limits abuse. So unfortunately, he'll have to slow down. He's currently standing in 12th position here at the Aramco Sim Arena. So through the final corner we go. It's closer than it has been so far through the penultimate and final corner here. Now on to what could be the penultimate lap here. It looks like we will have just enough time unless these 2 make contact and take each other off the track. But for Al Abeid, he's going to be trying, he's going to be looking every which way, inside, outside, picking up the slipstream, getting as close as he possibly can, getting the runs that he needs through these corners. Very different lines from these two drivers here. Much tighter from Al Abeid by the looks of it through Eau Rouge. And as we said before, one of the most iconic corners here at Spa-Francorchamps on the F1 calendar. So Yasser Al-Mansour is on lap 11, 3/10 of a second. He's picking up the toe. Look at how much of a draft he's picking up here. But he brakes so much earlier compared to Al-Mansour does Al Abeid, and that really plays in the hands of Al-Mansour because it allows him to escape further and hit the accelerator slightly earlier than Al Abeid does. But here he goes, he's going to try again, he's sticking with him, 4/10 of a second, again, much tighter through that right-hander. Less than 60 seconds to go on the clock here. We have a fantastic battle here for the lead of the race. Just 3/10 of a second separate Yasser Al-Mansour and Ahmed Al Abeid. Tahir runs third, Al-Machal fourth, and Ali Mohammed rounds out the top 5 here at Spa. Through the right-hander we go, and again, quick left-hander there. And unfortunately, Al Abeid, he may have just missed his opportunity out here to take the lead away because he's pushing what looks to be a little bit too hard. He's running too wide in the corners, and this is not going to go the way he'd like it. Do we have enough time for one more lap? I think we might just have enough time for an additional lap here. Let's see when we come through the final corners here. There's the third to last corner now. It's straight towards the penultimate corner. Here we go, right, left. Less than 10 seconds to go on the clock. Oh, and what a move! No, we knew this was going to happen. Al Abeid has just binned it completely. Who's going to get in gear first? Al Abeid is doing the smart thing. He's giving Al-Mansour the position back, and that is good sportsmanship. He knew he did him wrong. That was a magnificent drive there. He tried all he could there in the final lap. He gave the position back, and that's what good sportsmanship is. What could have been if we had one lap to go? That concludes the race here. I don't think that needs any looking into whatsoever because, in all fairness, Al Abeid gave the position back. Now, let's see if we can find Yasser Al-Mansour, a race winner here for the second time in the finals. And there he is, I can see him. A big round of applause. As the drivers go over to congratulate him here on his victory. Turn the mic on here so we can get a word in with Yasser Al-Mansour at the end of the race there. Congratulations all around from the rest of the drivers here. Even Safani coming in to say congratulations on a great race there. Yasser, that was tense at the beginning. It looked like you had it in the bag. Al Abeid kept catching. He was bringing it down by 1/10 of a second, and it all boiled down to the last corner there. What was going through your mind?
Yeah, it was a very, very tense battle throughout the race. He was very quick. I thought I had enough gap, but he kept, shaving half a second every lap. So I saw him coming close, then he made a mistake, I think. Then he came back, but I think that was a very optimistic dive. I didn't think it was possible. And fair play to him, giving the place back. So very tough, enjoyable race, and yeah, very happy.
Congratulations on your win. Now let's see if we can get a word with Al Abeid, who that was a very interesting last couple of laps there. You tried, is all I got to say. You tried.
I closed the gap, and I started on fourth or third row. The first turn chaos and spun around, got tangled with the car, another car. So tried to keep up with the Yasser, and he was doing pretty good pace, and was closing the gap, and I saw the timer going off, and we were on the last corner. He crossed the finish line. We have one more lap, but I made a contact into him, and I waved to him to take his position back, but the timer ran off. So yeah, it is what it is. This is racing.
Congratulations on second position, and we admire you for your sportsmanship there as well, conceding the position back to him. So those are the top two. Now we'll have, of course, the podium presentation shortly. I wonder though if I can find third, or if they're hiding from me. It's Waleed again. This is the second trip to the podium in a different race here. You had a very cool and calm race there. I mean, you were dicing it up there for a while, but it seemed to be, it got easier for you. Do you think you could have gone for the win though?
Yes, so it was a hard race. وكنت يعني كتير قريب انك تعدي الثاني بس صار معك كم شغله، قلنا عن الاشياء اللي صارت معك.
اي انا بديت ثامن والحمد لله يعني قدرت الحق لين خلصت ثامن.
Started 8th and he tried his best to keep on closing gaps coming in, and he did actually, and that's why he got third at the end of the race.
Well, thank you so much. Congratulations on third position. So I think we'll just have the race directors have a quick discussion to see who will be on the 5 steps of the podium. I think it's pretty much secure, though, that there will be no incidents to investigate, because we did see right there at the end that the position was given back. And it's very unusual to see sportsmanship like that, but no doubt that's even in sim racing we get these kind of things, and it's magnificent to see as well. So we'll take a quick break here, and then we'll be back with the podium finishing positions here for the top 5. So we'll see you shortly. So, ladies and gentlemen, after a very short break, I think now we'll have the podium presentation for our top 5 here for our final here, the race room final after an exhilarating race. So we'd like to call all the drivers and all the podium finishers to make their way over to the podium presentation area. And then, of course, we'll invite a special guest as well to assist us with the prizes that we are giving away here for our top 5. So let's invite our special guest here that will help present our prizes here to our 5 winners. Please welcome Mujib Al-Hati, the representative of the Saudi Esports Federation. Thank you so much for joining us once again. And he'll be the man that will hand out the prizes here. So let's start with 5th position. He already won 1 race today. He's on the podium list again. And in 5th position, please welcome Ali Mohammed. In 4th position, just missing out on the podium, please welcome Hamid Al-Mujal. And now let's start with those who will be standing on the steps here at the podium. In 3rd position, please welcome Waleed Tahir. And, well, a hard-fought 2nd place there and victory as well. It all came down to the final corner of the final lap. There could only be 1 winner and 1 2nd place, so of course we'll bring out 2nd place first. Please welcome Ahmed Al-Obeidi. And last but certainly not least, the man who won it all, and again it came all the way down to the wire. The final corner is where it all happened, but thanks to good sportsmanship, the man who rightfully deserves to be on the top step of the podium will be visiting there. Please welcome Yasser Al-Mansour. And of course, for his efforts as well, he will also receive a special gift as well, one of the ARAMCO chairs that is behind him. So just sweeten the deal there for the win. This has been a mighty fun couple of days here at the ARAMCO Sim Arena. Looking forward to doing it again soon. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you to the drivers. Thank you to Pole Position. Thank you to Stefani here as well, who is here. From myself, Christopher Milmore, it's been a fantastic journey. Thank you to the translators as well that have helped me throughout the tournament here. Thank you so much. We hope to see you again soon. Thank you and good night.